Get up, get on up.
There was a big declassification this morning from Tulsi Gabbard. And this is something that is imperative to the country. It proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that Barack Obama used and weaponized the intel agencies to create a false Russian hoax about Donald Trump. But it also proved something else fascinating. It also unveiled what was going on in this instance. This is Hillary Clinton falling like a slab of beef into a mysterious black van. Thank God for independent journalists filming this moment. A breakdown of this moment, if you will, because we've studied this footage like the Zapruder film almost. You can see Hillary Clinton wobbling. She's not able to actually hold her head straight. She's losing consciousness. She has no more autonomic nervous system operation. She's effectively dead. She's somebody who's like unable to stand on her own 2 feet. You can see that because you can see her shoe fall right off her foot here. As she is dragged into the van. She's so out of it. She's so completely cooked that her shoe, she doesn't even have the capacity to keep her feet in her shoes. And when does that happen? Well, parents know that happens when they're like taking a sleeping kid, an unconscious child, like out of the car, right? Your kid's asleep, you carry him out of the car. They don't even care, right? Shoe falls off. In what world does an adult, if you're like blackout drunk or you're out of your freaking mind, right? If you're blitzed out of your mind, you can see sloppy girl lose her shoe at the bar, maybe. But this was a matter of weeks before the presidential election in 2016. So what the hell happened here to Hillary Clinton? We now have some answers. Wild answers. Here we go. Russia hid Clinton health issues? What? What was Hillary Clinton actually suffering from here? Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, recent declassification exposed Russia had a stash of damaging details about Hillary Clinton that could have ended her campaign. Oh my, what were they exactly, and why didn't we know about them? Isn't it us, the American people, that are entitled to this information? Insider reports said that she was using strong sedatives due to worsening mental health. I'm sorry, say what now? It's probably going to piss off many of the feminists who are shrieking for their first female president, right? That like your first female president was suffering from severe mental health issues. A major knock, by the way, for Hillary Clinton, whose entire campaign was based on she's so strong and she's so capable and she's so mature and she's so experienced. Well, if she's having a mental health crisis just for running the campaign, clearly something's wrong there. Documents reveal serious medical problems like chronic fatigue and heart issues, which is most likely what you saw in her collapse there at the van. Secret meetings with religious groups where Clinton reportedly promised big State Department grants for support. Party insiders admitted to EU allies that they saw her as unfit and quietly hoped that she would lose, and Obama and party leaders found her health to be extraordinarily alarming. Obama pushed the hoax that Russia was helping Trump, targeting Hillary, yet they sat on this explosive intelligence that could have sunk her campaign. Well, this is exactly what they used against Joe Biden. Remarkably so. Hunter Biden, this past week, in an interview, said that they drugged up Joe Biden before the debate. Did he do it on purpose? We have that clip. We'll play it for you in a second. Here's the report. This is direct documents. We will always show you the direct source documents here. But this is the report explaining that Hillary Clinton had major health problems, extraordinarily alarming health prospects, serious negative impact on her ability to campaign. The information was kept in strictest secrecy. Even her closest advisors were not informed. They said she was suffering from intense psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. Huh? What? Clinton was placed on a daily regime of heavy tranquilizers. While afraid of losing, she remained obsessed with a thirst for power. This is directly from our own intel agencies on the information that the Russians had on Hillary. Goodness. So this was all a distraction mechanism to keep prying eyes away from the things that we were all able to see with our own two eyes. Like this. Remember this moment? We have this clip. Let's go ahead and listen to it, shall we? This time when Hillary Clinton had like a seizure on camera. Nobody decided to ask any questions. The subservient stenographers in the press decided to like giggle and tee-hee-hee along with her, but are still unable to mask their horror at what Hillary Clinton does right here.
Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
You guys have got to try the cold chai.
I've had it.
It is delicious, isn't it?
Okay.
What the literal hell? I know we have an emotive show. I take a lot of these issues very personally. A lot of this stuff, really matters to me, and we'll react accordingly. We spent the entire election night in 2024 screaming until our voices cracked, popping champagne bottles, jumping around. But I've never done anything like that. This looks like a medical seizure. And somebody was just, what the F is happening there? And there's a lot of clips of this, actually. There's a lot of clips of this. Here's a good one. Here's Hillary Clinton, literally, and this isn't from the campaign. This is right after the campaign. Hillary Clinton decided to flee the country. And Hillary Clinton fell effectively down the stairs, worse than anything we've ever seen Joe Biden do. Hillary Clinton, just straight up, loses, much like with the van, loses her balance, says, yeah, I'm good. And then falls again later in the video, is incapable, let the video play, is incapable of regaining her balance, and then falls again. She's just doing stairs. And look at that. This is a deeply unhealthy person. This is a strangely and woefully degenerate, diseased old bat. Guess this is one of my favorites. This one's from the DNC convention. This, of course, is from the campaign. Hillary Clinton's reaction to balloons, which has been memed into infinity. What? Yeah. Whoa! What is that? Hillary Clinton's reaction to the release of the Epstein list. Look, what the hell is going on there? That's not how normal people react. That's how people who are on drugs react. You're on drugs. You're on drugs. As of September 2016, the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service had Democrat National Committee information that President Obama and party leaders found the state of Secretary Clinton's health to be extraordinarily alarming, and it could have led to a serious negative impact on the election prospects. This was kept in the strictest secrecy. Not even her top advisors were informed, but we were all able to witness it live. This one's crazy. Listen to Hillary Clinton try and get through just a quick 60-second speech here. She can't get through just the most basic of boilerplate campaign speeches without physically collapsing. I mean, this is as bad, if not worse, than what happened to Joe Biden. Here we go.
Represent inmates. Excuse me. Too much to say. That's been wow. Thank you, Hazel. That's been part of my mission. And representing poor people through the Legal Services Corporation. It was about making people's lives better. And it taught me that even if you're young and you don't have a powerful job, if you work at it, you stick with it, you can make a difference. You know,
Sorry for that painfully long clip. Not like the last thing I ever want to do is turn this into a Hillary Clinton clip channel. But what the hell was that? Sometimes it's worth playing 90 seconds of that just to show you what they tried to pull on us. You know, did you ever see that at all? Like, was that clip ever played for you? Did anybody ever try and explain all of the seizures and the freakouts and the yelling and the screaming and the collapsing and the coughing, the barking like a dog? Remember this one? This one's wild. Hillary Clinton, in the middle of a campaign rally, just decides to start barking like a dog, like a total sociopath. Remember, and let me read this to you one more time before we play you this clip. Clinton was suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and she was given a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hillary Clinton just
the
barking like a dog.
Caused by too much regulation.
you know?
By too much regulation.
You know?
What's wrong with Democrats? Like, what's wrong? Like, why can't you just say it? Look at the people behind her. They all laugh. They're all like, it's like when a 2-year-old tries to perform a trick in front of you and it's a really bad trick and it's not impressive at all and you're like being kind and nice, but it's the president. Like, it's not a 2-year-old. You're looking at like the person who's supposed to be in charge of nuclear codes in the country and your children's future. Why are you laughing? This is horrifying. This is a horrifying thing to do. Something's clearly wrong with this person. She was physically unconscious at the September 11th ceremony and had to be thrown into the back of a van. Intensified psycho-emotional problems, including uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. She was on heavy tranquilizers. I guess this makes sense. When you watch the seizures and you watch footage like this, you watch like look at the way that the reporters respond. Like, what the hell was that? Now it makes sense. Incredible. Will they ever have to answer for it? Just one final button hook here on this question. It's very interesting. Hunter Biden said that his dad was drugged in order to kick him out of the Democrat primary process. I guess there was no primary, but in order to end his campaign, that he was drugged. This is what Hunter Biden says. Now, were the drugs given to him? Were they intended to harm his campaign? I don't know. They had the intended effect, though. I'll play you the Hunter Biden clip, and then I'll play you the results of what happens when you're on Ambien. Because he's right. Clearly, he's right. Okay? And I can't believe I'm saying this about Hunter Biden, but yes, he's dead on here. Here's Hunter Biden.
Exactly what happened in that debate. He flew around the world, basically, and the mileage that he could have flown around the world 3 times. Yeah. He's 81 years old. He's tired as shit. They give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage, and he looks like he's a deer in the headlights.
So who gave him Ambien exactly? Who's they, Hunter? That would be the obvious follow-up question. Who's they? We hope to bring you the Hunter Biden interview. I will gladly interview Hunter Biden. I would love to do that. Who gives him Ambien? Do you agree to this? You know, side effects of Ambien, and I'm going to play you a clip here. You're going to love it. It's amazing to go back through. It seems like recent history, but there's so much that's happened. It's something that happened a year ago, which this did. It's like ancient history, but it's worth remembering. The side effects of Ambien are you have limited to no cognitive capacity. You're drowsy to the point of wobbliness and unconsciousness. You have a hard time memorizing names. You have a hard time memorizing or any ability to talk or walk. Dizziness, headache, diarrhea, memory loss, drowsiness, hallucinations, deep, fast breathing, nausea, anxiety, muscle pain, difficulty swallowing, chest pain, crying. Okay, here, watch this very short clip of Joe Biden and tell me from the first word. Listen to the first thing. Do you remember how he walks onto the stage and he goes, "Ah." You knew there was a problem. Listen to this.
Both, however, making sure that we're able to make
that?
every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to provide housing for Black Americans. The impact on the choice, the idea that they're gonna. I'm proposing that everybody the millionaires pay 1%. So no one I've not raised the cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it stopped. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
We know that this was obviously a massive health cover-up. Can I just say something that I know that the chat is saying right now, and our production chat is also saying, which is the withholding and the command that President Trump had to suffer through that and to not just take a baseball bat to his beleaguered opponent shows unmatched human restraint. Would you have had that restraint? It's lucky that I wasn't on that stage. Trump's reactions were great, but they were understated and subtle. They were reactions like this, where Donald Trump's just doing the same thing that we were all doing at home. Restraint is not something that President Trump, is known for. Look at this. But Donald Trump, being the master of this craft that he is, I think immediately figured out that something was horribly wrong with Joe Biden. We now know from his son, who was with him every step of the way, that Joe Biden was drugged here, something that we long speculated. And President Trump sensed that, I think, and understood that he was dealing with a deeply incapacitated foe. And instead of doing what he's done in multiple other debates that we've seen, decided to use restraint and to hold off and to then show the American public, let's let it speak for itself, the famous photo from the event. Oh, oof. Oh yeah, we did it, Joe. That's right. So now we have multiple Democrat health cover-ups. We know that Joe Biden was dealing also with terminal prostate cancer, stage 5, metastasized to the bones, which is a death sentence. And so what the hell's, listen, it's totally evil. What won't these people do for power? We have the privilege of one time on the program asking Rudy Giuliani about this. And it was Rudy Giuliani who actually set up Hillary Clinton for her side of beef slab throw into the van. We didn't know that we'd go here with the mayor, America's mayor, but sure as hell dead. And so I guess it's worth replaying for you, ladies and gentlemen, right now. Rudy Giuliani explaining how he was actually able to set Hillary up for that era-defining van throw. Unconscious. Let's go. It's great, you know? They can go to their shows. Hillary can fall into her meat locker van day and night. Mr. Mayor, you were there that day. What the hell happened?
I predicted it. I wasn't only there that day, I kept him there long enough so he'd be there when it happened. I predicted it.
Really?
I even recommended that he go because I thought she wouldn't be able to make it. I had been at 4 or 5 of those with her over the years, and she would always leave early, and she always looked shaky. And she was starting to talk funny for the last 2 weeks of the campaign. I knew she was going to fall down. And the minute she selected that event, which I've been at every year but one, I know that event, and I know how hot it gets and how difficult it is to stand for that period of time still, and how she used to complain like hell about it because I could hear her in the background cursing at her people. And they would say, you got to stay longer. Got to stay longer. It's not going to look good. So and in that period of time, we were noting, the staff were noting to me, people who followed her around, she's looking wobbly. One of them told me a story where they thought she was going to fall into, she got so close to the people on the stage that it looked like she lost a little of her equilibrium. Now, you never know if these are true or not, but why not test them? And I said, boss, why don't you come? And he said, well, I'll come, but I have to leave early. I said, just do me a favor. Just one time, leave when I tell you to. Just hang on. So 2 hours went by and she looked fine. And he came up to me, he said, I said, give us 15 more minutes. And I got my fingers crossed. And my head of security, John Houvain, was standing right where the same angle you have here. And he took a picture of it. And he ran up to me and he said, tell the boss not to leave. And it wasn't John Houvain, it was Bo Wagner or John, both of them together. And I said, boss, she just fell down going into the van, and we have word already because the cops were ratting on her like crazy. They hated her. She's not going to the hospital. He said, why would she go to the hospital? Because she doesn't want anybody to take a look at this. She's going to her daughter's apartment so they could get a phony doctor to come in and say, oh, she's okay. The people here, they don't care if they kill you. It's all about them anyway. And nobody had any loyalty to Hillary.